day-old bread, and these thumb rocks I found. The bread's not so bad if you toast it. My best sellers were my carved charger tusks. If you carve the right pattern, they're good luck. That's what Dad told me. I'm all out of tusks though, and money. Oh, but if you bring me some tusks, I'll cut you in on the profits.
Okay. Alive. Not dead, but alive. He's powerful. Trying to just get tier 3 in this area and then gonna move on with the story. In Act 1. Figure I'd do this side quest. I'd like to see if there's any dungeons I'd be interested in, but yeah, is there a double hit? I figured it was just like possibly one big hit, but I was thinking about it, I was like, is there a higher damage on the impact? Because obviously the wave, it said it had a separate damage thing. And I was like, well, if it has a separate damage thing, then it's probably like a little ways away, like, yeah, like a solid like 6-7 feet. Yeah, hitting with both would be great on a boss. Bigger bodies are probably easier to hit, which is good for bosses that are huge, which is probably most of them. I imagine they have a bigger hitbox. Yeah, that's a nice little bit of depth. Rogue. I'm just trying to find dungeons to see if there's anything I want. Using that to get tier 3. Yeah, man, I feel like... Was it just me or did D3 kind of have that in it? Where, like, you'd be able to just customize abilities to have stuff like this pulverized wave? Or am I just misremembering? It wasn't just like gear lock. Which, I mean, it makes gear feel a bit more special. Maybe the Paragon system has stuff like that. Like, don't get me wrong, like, you know, Fortify and Spirit, there's some differences there, but mostly it's just the core thing you pick and then some passives. They're not ultra transformative. They're important, but they don't, like, you don't start playing different, right? Like with this wave, I will literally play different. So. Yeah. Having it be a bit more gear focused and having lots of different things that are focused, yeah, later game. Gives it a bit more longevity, but it also, I suppose, means you're gonna play a little different later in the game. Which I was talking about that earlier. Is like in a game like this, it's like the early game and the very late game are probably really fun, but the middle, where like there's really not a whole lot, like, because in the early game you're like getting all of your abilities, right? So it's always changing, which is fun. The scaling isn't too bad yet. You're still one-shot and shit, which is cool. Then late game you're getting crazy stuff, but mid game it's like, eh. But I feel like the gear helps with that. This gear, not the numbers per se, but the unique stuff helps keep this like mid game a bit more exciting. Because I get them not wanting to like give you too little for too long. Maybe I'm just full shit, but they could have easily made it so that these pieces of gear did not really drop much, but instead they are dropping pretty often, so I gotta use them a bit more. Can't really add them to gear super easily. Or at least not to certain kinds of pieces, maybe. I only had like 3 of one thing I could even add earlier. Like the resource for it. Yeah, I'm curious what the Paragon system's even going to be. It's just going to be playing with small stats, or if they're going to actually try to make Tier 3 and beyond post-campaign feel meaningful, like I'm really making big differences in the builds and stuff. Because I mean, spirit bins were pretty big for me, but it's a bit more just on the build side of things than like gameplay style changes. Like, I mean, this, you know, being able to crit and then heal myself is a pretty big thing. It doesn't really change how I play. Same with spirit and crit damage and more crits and, you know, taking less damage. It's mostly just stat adjustments. And don't get me wrong, that stuff's fun, but you know, I think it's a bit more interesting to have like different moves and new ways I actually will, like, you know, think about the battlefield a bit more. Like now it's like I move away from guys, I line up hits, right? You know, I build up overpowers, or maybe I'll do a little kiting just to build up, you know, the 20 seconds. There's a little bit more depth there. Some snapshots with stuns and stuff. Like, I mean, some people I guess would just prefer, like, you know, the different playstyles being completely different characters, but I like playing one character that kind of changes over time or something. Until you get to where you want it to be. I mean, I guess it depends. If you're just like reading a build, I mean, you already know what you're doing. From beginning to end, doesn't really matter. I guess the point is that I'm glad it's not just like... I was worried that once I got all my moves, it would kind of get stale. And the enemies, like, I wouldn't get that much stronger, but the enemies would be, you know, still scaling up. So everything would just be a bit grindier. But I think with the higher drop rate of the uniques, it's kept things fresh. I hope the Paragon thing does the same. Yeah. Can you stack these? Can you stack passives? I'm guessing not, right? Okay, because I already have this one. I like mine better, but I want to get that. I like that attack speed. It helps with generation. Thing is, this thing just has a lot of fucking defense, man. Or not defense, attack power, sorry. Read the next one. Like, basic skill damage is good, crit strike damage is fine. The lucky hit, sure. Distant enemies, I wouldn't normally care, but now that I have the wave, it's a bit better. It's not good, per se. Close is definitely better, but it's not a dead stat. I mean, damage to slow enemies isn't that good on the left side. The other is vulnerable. Those are both dead, but basic skill and close are pretty high percentages. I would take the new one if I could swap the passive, but I can't really. Not without a lot of effort. If I had like a god item, maybe I'd go for it. But don't think that's the case. They do, Klutzu. So wild impulses is pretty good. I get 3 ranks in this. Finish off trample. Maybe I'll grab more maul. I don't know if I care about max spirit at all. I'll probably get the last rank of mending. So I want to stay healthy as much as I can, so I need having that crit heal me for a little bit more. I mean, 15% off of a 3% is not huge, but I mean, add up with the other stuff over time. Finish off this quest. Okay, so higher world tiers gives you more XP for killing monsters. Do quests always just stay the same? Is that how that works? I'm assuming so. This is pretty nice. This would be just kind of like a nice thing if you're grinding hard. You move a little quicker and can just walk through enemies when you're unstoppable. And I mean, I'm usually unstoppable in the big grizzly form. I have to salvage this to get the look. Does anybody know if taking the aspect off of it still counts as salvaging it? Because I'd like to get all the transmog, but...
Bright aura. Brighter soul.
What does it even look like? True. But it's cool when you're walking around to look good. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna matter much. The armor would be more where it's at.
The wonders of Sanctuary at your fingertips. How may I help you?
It's a 200 weapon. Power increased by 100%. Amulet power increased by 50. Okay, it doesn't look like it does. Good to know. But yeah, I definitely don't need to worry about it as much on this class. I mean, it's cool when you're running around and shit, like I said. That's definitely not a huge thing.
Well struck. Stay sharp, my friend.
Even just being fucking color coded would be good enough. Okay. Really don't have much more to get here. I'd rather not even bother with the quest. Go find some little statues. sweet spot. Not really, just like, is it just streams that just continuously have Trump versus Biden talking or something? All the meme videos. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, it's nice when it's funny. God forbid when we're actually in the election season. Yeah, that shit for real. I like how the AI is just knowledgeable on ways to make fun of Joe Biden. Yeah. Feels like one of those that's gonna slip. Some gamer weird in. Like all the other ones, they'll get banned for a while, then disappear. We got a lot of viewers, or? Oh, a lot more than the other AI channels still do. I don't know why I feel so tired all of a sudden. I guess I've been up for a bit. All wrath skills? What is a wrath skill? Let's have a check. Yeah, maybe it did, dude. Fucking hell. Okay, it's these. Trample. Yeah, it might have. I mean, walking out into the heat, coming back. Oof. Yeah, I mean, I doubt I'll stream much after the Capcom one. That's an hour and a half. We'll see how that is.
Well done. You shall have the honor of mounting the head. Let both friend and
Yeah, it
foe
did not have
know
much soul at all,
that
man.
you have brought down the beast.
It's pretty bland, man. Those are gonna be some maybe games, that's for sure. Ally of the Bear Tribe is close to completion. Whatever that means. You think? How do you guys like the Battle Network series? I was gonna get into them after I did the X Games. Somewhere around there. I might do 0 first. The Legends, but definitely I want to do X. Those are the big ones. People always seem to like some of the NPC dialogue and the general gameplay with the grid. I remember that one Eden game came out to try to copy it, but okay. Yeah, it's not one you really like hear talked about like up there with any of the greats, but like most people know them. It's just hard to get a read on it. Visually they never seem terribly interesting, but I mean that doesn't mean that much. Trying to find that sweet spot. Might be tighter than I give it credit for. Are they long games? They're like JRPGs, I imagine they're at least chunky length. Oh really? Yeah, I probably wouldn't, so that's good. Let me bust through them a little quicker. Yeah, if they're good, it doesn't matter how long they are, but a bit easier to do like a marathon or something if they're not like, you know, 10 years long a piece.
State your business.
Reverend Mother Prava expects me.
Open the gates.
No, they're worth doing.
You were good soldiers. Worked hard. Fought hard. Drank hard too. Brothers. Sisters. I hope you find peace in these flames.
Vigo? What are you doing here?
So you lived. I came clean to Prava. About taking that woman's bribe. It's looking bad. My ass is on the line. Might not have a job when she's done with me. Hey, you're here for her, right? Let's go together. Maybe she'll go easy on me if you're there.
Sure, bub.
Not many could bear your sins.
This is no mere armor. This is a holy vessel of the highest craftsmanship. It may uplift the repentant sinner directly to the light. Can armor do that? Faith rather than flesh moves this suit, though how is only known to a privileged few. The practice has been long abandoned. Something big is coming. Holy war. Mark my words. She wouldn't have asked me to prepare a relic like this otherwise.
You say so, Bill.
Hold.
She's expecting us.
We go. Good luck.
Have the new watch commander replace the forces we lost at the mine. So, you've returned. Vigo here tells me you were braver than he. A bastion of light brought low. A demon unleashed on the land. What you saw in Skazlin, that is what Lilith wants for all of Sanctuary. But rest
Ubisoft?
assured, justice
Or
will come for
Diablo?
Donan and his son.
Ubisoft.
Who suffered.
Just mind-numbingly generic bland games. They are the kings of bland AAA games. Maybe the 2D Prince of Persia looked like it could be decent. That it is a AAA 2D game. That the combat looked kind of fun. Was something. They showed gameplay for that new Star Wars one. 90% of it was like, you know, super simple one-button stealth. Press X to awesome. Kind of dull bullshit. But there was a little bit of space combat. And I was like, visually it didn't look too bad. But quippy main character bullshit. They didn't show like the map and the flow of the game, but I'm sure it's the same fucking clear camp bullshit. Far Cry Avatar game. Nothing really special. It was kind of cringy. It was funny in that aspect because it was live. So there was a lot of people in costumes or people hitting you with that PR buzzword speak. Create your story and all that kind of bullshit. Overall though, yeah. Not looking good for them. I mean, I guess they showed Assassin's Creed Mirage, but fuck, man. It was pretty much just like the same shit as the old ones without the style or the music or any of that. The charm. And it's like, I get, yeah, they might want to make an old school style Assassin's Creed, if you can even call them old school. Like, but you want them to do the old style in like theory. You don't want like exactly the same thing, but it was like exactly the same shit without the style. Like the aesthetic and shit. Like, it was a lot of like press X to awesome, bush stealth, you know, really boring distractions, the exact same animations from like 3. I was just like you're not gonna like innovate at all. You know, they didn't show the social stealth being any better. It had the same like pan out, like you disappear into the crowd after you leave the place from the first one, and it's just like there's no new creativity in it, man. I'm like, really? Like they did that game 7 times already. It's like, yeah, it was better times for Assassin's Creed than the new ones, but like doesn't mean that they didn't already do it a million times. Like a little innovation, right? I'm not asking for a whole lot.
First,
Who knows? Yeah, anyways,
of a blessing.
it was super
A
dull.
holy war cannot be won with
Got one
faithless
more
troops.
in an hour and a half,
Make
which
no
hopefully is
mistake.
good.
This war is holy. Lilith has brought the eternal conflict to Sanctuary, and Inarius will deliver us as writ in prophecy.
It's Capcom
Until then,
for the last
we have our
one.
parts to play.
There's a few others like
Make
throughout
the
the next
pilgrimage
month,
to the
but this
Alabaster
is the last
Monastery.
like
Cleanse your spirit.
main
Then
one.
we may discuss a blessing.
Last of the back-to-back ones.
May as well make myself useful. Come by the ruins, south of here.
Yeah, I mean Capcom's been pretty fucking consistent. Definitely one of the best AAAs out there in the last 5-6 years. They already showed a game yesterday that was pretty cool, so I'm hoping that they continuously show us more cool stuff. I already know a few games that'll be there that are good, but they have a pretty good IP catalog, so there's always the possibility of some cool shit. So.
Hail.
Let's hope they have a big show planned and not just kind of here's some games that are already out and some DLC kind of shit.
West of here bears a relic. I'm told it takes on your sin, weighs you down, body and soul, beats the hell out of you. It'll cleanse you, prepare you to stand before the Father. I hope you don't have many regrets, friend. This kind of thing is a lot deadlier for some than others. Watch out, all right? I'll find you at the end. I had my doubts. The priests were always going on about the return of Lilith. But now she's here, just like they said.
Yep, we'll see though. Yeah, after today, it'll just be Diablo focused till I beat the story, and then
Creature of darkness,
we'll have to
for
see
you
from
have
there.
wandered beyond the reach of the light. Lift your sins, breathe deep the cold air. The path to redemption lies before you, if you have the faith to walk it. Feel the sting of your wounds. Let the ice into your bones. Welcome your pain. For the agony of the flesh is the first cleansing of the soul. Make your faith stronger than any hurt.
Okay.
Look around at the mountains towering over you. Feel how small you are. Embrace humility. Accept your place in worship to the Father, for He has shown us the way.
Nice having 2 overpowers now. When they actually rev up. I almost wasn't going to get the second one, but then I realized you could still get it even if you jump out of bear form. It's just 20 seconds in bear form, period. Not in a row.
Remember, you are nothing without faith. Hold fast to the light and remember.
So, I like playing cards. Doesn't make me a sinner. But that bribe. Good soldiers died on account of what I did. Is that the kind of man I am? The kind I'll always be. Damn it. I'm praying. Why isn't this working? You made it. That makes one of us at least.
You heard from Prava?
I will, soon. But enough about that. You're about to meet Father Inarius himself. Not everyone comes back, you know. You'd better. I owe you a stiff drink.
Always the drinks. Favorite writing. I owe you a drink. You guys drink hard. We'll drink when we get back, guy. That means he's gruff. And down to earth.
Kneel before him, and remember, you are small, wonderfully small.
This guy seems like kind of an asshole.
This is how you choose to approach me.
Loud.
Forgive this intrusion, but
Tell me what you need.
I must traverse the Black Lake, and that cannot be done without your blessing.
If I've learned anything during my time here, it is that what we're looking for and what we need are rarely the same thing. I once thought I could find an end to this war, but there has been no resolution, only more pain. Everything I've done has pulled me further from home, from the place I need to be. This world we made was born from the impossible, and yet, like its creators, it rots from the inside.
I don't... Lilith has entered the ancient city. With your blessing, I can pursue her.
Your kind are weak, and this world has been wasted on the crusades of the unworthy.
I can stop her.
This audience is concluded.
It was useful.
Back to Corvalar.
Back to quiet.
No, no, no. You heard him, but you did not listen. His voice is music, a symphony of light. Look beyond the words themselves, and you will find truth.
Alright. It might be faster just to run from here. definitely tired. Ooh-wee.
Blessed are those who bask in the light. Let our faith be our armor against the encroaching darkness. Ah, you've returned. Come, let us speak inside, out of the cold. Vigo and I had a good conversation when he returned. He will do his penance. Trust that he is in good hands. Penitence. In the heavens' eyes, creating humanity was a sin. They cast him down. Now he seeks redemption and the chance to go home. As prophesied, slaying Lilith is that chance. When he ascends, so shall we all.
I think so.
From the Father's voice to my ears, a spear of light piercing hatred's heart. First Lilith, then the Primes. He will deliver us from the eternal conflict.
I already beat up the Primes before.
Yet you stand before me unscathed. I know his ways. That is approval enough for me. In the name of the light, I bless you. May the light flow through you and keep you from corruption and sin. Our victory is prophesied in the heavens.
Is that it? No powers. This kind of happens. Okay. What time we got? 2:50. A little bit left.
Strangers in the camp.
Been here already, brother. Get new dialogue.
I'll explain on the way.
I thought she said she was explaining it.
Of the ritual was difficult to understand.
Gotta wait till we get to
And the
this
notes weren't
straight
much
away.
better. I think I know how to talk with my mother again. The breeze coming from the Black Lake. Do you feel it? Let's hurry.
Is Lilith just like really slow? We're like chasing her down. We gotta go 20 different places for a super long period of time.
Mother, please, can you hear me?
My little magpie, it's you.
I can save you from this, Mother. I promise. I can learn how to...
Nere, stop. I can't be saved from my own mistakes. This body is only a husk. My spirit must pass on. And you must let me go.
Mother, no. I need you.
You need to move on, Magpie, without me. But I can help you one last time before I go. You have the divine blessing. Your blood is the necessary key.
Just a big cut, baby.
Nerel, you were so loved.
She wasn't. Fucking gave up on her. Shut up. I have talked to her.
Nerel.
The way is open. We have to go. But... do you think Lilith is even still here?
Oh wow,
It's
they
been so
actually
long.
mention it.
I'm afraid
Crazy.
she's won this one.
Oh shit.
Besides, I have to... take care of my mother.
Yeah, so
But it's not over yet.
the other guy and his dead son was a bit better, but
Lilith was after Rosma. Find him.
this one's been a
Learn
bit
why.
more, especially this chick's been a bit
I'll be back at the fight.
lame.
All right.
good. Yeah, the boss was cool.
Wind flowing through my bones.
I'm really glad. Oh, this is pretty nice. Too bad the fucking armor's bad. Oh, that isn't pulverized. Yeah, I was really glad that he didn't start, like, his son didn't talk back to him after he fucking died. I was like, oh, please don't. It was already lame enough that his son just, like, melted the demon exoskeleton off him just so he could, like, look at the dude we once knew kind of thing. But the boss was cool. I liked that, the hound thing he was on when it was just alone. It was pretty cool. Already, it was a cool design. Him riding on it was fun. It was cool. He kind of ran around the arena a bit too. We'll see how this one is, huh?
You are the last visitor to my sanctum. Though you come too late. It started in dreams. I saw shattered images of the end of Sanctuary.
I need to destroy the tumors to go any further.
Why is 90% of the story told through ghostly images and flashbacks? I mean, 90% is a bit hyperbolic, but I guess because we're always chasing somebody, but they don't want the villain to just not exist, so we have to like keep looking at them doing stuff. I guess the presentation of the visions and all that is part of it. It's just kind of generic. It's very clear, just plain memories we just kind of get instead of anything kind of more stylish or disjointed or surreal. It's just orange, Lilith, all that kind of shit. Ghost standing there. We don't get like an actual cutscene. Taking a rank off of that, dude. I don't know if you guys would agree, but the melee attack, the basic one, just doesn't do a lot, man. Maybe I gotta like really crank it to max, but I'm just gonna upgrade it last if I even have any left. Like if it just upped the speed or the spirit generation, it'd be one thing, but all it does is up the damage. It's really not a whole lot. Upgrade. Mending and trample now. Any other passives actually that look good? Like I said, Ancestral's not horrible. 2 spirit transforming him. I don't transform into human often. Once every like 20 seconds. Not quite worth it. Oh yeah, there's this tree. I mean, yeah, increasing the amount I get from all sources on Fortify would be fine. I feel like with going full bear skills, you already like get max Fortify pretty fucking quick, man. It doesn't take long. I don't want to like put too much into it. Yeah, because it's like, yeah, I could take off, you know, I could put that on and then take off Natural Trample, put on Savage Trample, stuff like that, but like it's already... Yeah, you do lose a bit, but it's like if you're at max and you're in full bear skills, you're gonna get it back, right? The Roar, I get it back, the Dash, I get it back, Dire Werebear, I get it back, Attacking, I get it back, and if I have a fast attack speed, I'm getting it back. It's like, it does matter. Like, I'll probably get this. I don't know if I care about these other ones. Well, 5% chance one struck. It's not bad either. I don't think I care about Unrestrained or Thick Hide. Like, I don't get stunned or immobilized often. I can break out of some of this shit with some of my skills, so it's hard to really care about Unrestrained. I think I'm gonna focus on like Trample and Mending, but I'll probably get the Generation. I don't really see the point in Max Spirit unless you want to walk into a boss with like 2 full hits ready. I mean, I guess technically if you're using this skill where you do a few hits and then you spend them to do a bunch of damage, you'd want to crank up the hits and without going over your spirit max, but then you're just gonna have to hit twice anyway, so I don't really see the point. It doesn't feel very valuable, at least. I mean, like if I just had the points, sure, but I mean, other than that, it's like Ancestral Fortitude. I don't think Vigilance is very valuable with Debilitating Roar. What do you guys think about upgrading Debilitating Roar? I mean, a second off the cooldown I guess isn't bad. I mean, it probably comes down to like 15 seconds. I don't know. I guess if I had the points. It doesn't feel super valuable though. Like 5 seconds. Yeah. I mean, that's, you know, more uptime. It goes from being up 20% of the time, or yeah, 20% of the time to being up like 25-30% of the time, but I don't know. I'll just have to see what kind of points I'm working with. I mean, I'm 39. I have at least a few skill points hiding around somewhere. Like maybe I can get Trample maxed. That's if I don't want to do Poison Creeper. Yeah, that's my thing. It's like it could be fun, but it's like 5 points. Like 4 points into that, it's like you might as well be getting Ancestral Fortitude or something else. I don't know. Like, yeah, I'm just not even... I mean, this one's not too bad. Like, poison, slow people. Poison enemies take 10% additional crit damage. It's like... I mean, technically, if you're going for long poison time on the creeper, you could have this, but it's like still, that's only like what, 6 seconds? Well, no, it has poison damage on all the time. I mean, technically this isn't bad then, because you're getting slow on an enemy, and there are things that like synergize with people being slowed or impaired, right? You get a lot more uptime with a slow than you do with a stun. It's like technically for 6 points I get 30% more damage on crit. If I keep, you know, Ferocious Poison Creeper going. I don't know, I feel like bread and butter and survivability is probably what I'll focus on, and then maybe get crazy. I mean, obviously all this could change if I get special stuff, but... Stats... Max Spirit... It would suck to lose the 5% healing received and the cooldown reduction, but I feel like the flat armor and the socket at this point. I'll take it. How's the up for good man mixed? So far it's fine. I mean, I definitely think the atmosphere and music, while not maybe as tight as D2, is much more improved over D3, and the visual variety's been good. They're pretty focused on the story and stuff. It's definitely much better than 3's, which was pretty kind of goofy Hollywood bullshit. This is trying to be a bit more serious. It still kind of falls into some tropey stuff, but it's at least been trying to keep the tone well. But the important part of the gameplay, I do think generally, like, it's well animated. The sound's really nice. Some of the mixing's a little off, but point is the feedback's good on stuff, which is sweet. I don't think it's like it's pretty accessible. Like, it's not ultra complex to make your build or anything. There's definitely options, and I'm sure there's a lot of depth in like how crazy you can get, especially as you unlock more and more systems, which I think is also pretty decent. They've, you know, you pretty much get all of your abilities pretty quickly, but then you kind of play with like the details. But then at level 50 you get more stuff, and they start dropping gear that like kind of changes how you play a little bit more drastically, and it's always kind of something fresh happening, which is nice. It's not like super active. Like, I'm not, at least on Werebear, I'm not like jumping around and every ability is like super insane. You know, a lot of them are like roars or buffs or, you know, stuff like that. You're not super, I have to be very active and dodging around being crazy. I mean, there is a bit of that, probably more than like PoE or something, but so far not yet. I mean, obviously that continual improvement and stuff is where a lot of the where it keeps you gripped a bit more than just the raw gameplay. Seeing loot or your build kind of get rewarded a bit is nice. I think the aggressive scaling lessens a bit of that. It's a double-edged blade, sword, blade, whatever. Like, the aggressive scaling makes it so that when you get a piece of gear, it doesn't really feel like you're getting a big upgrade. But it does let you kind of go anywhere you want, and generally always get like decent drop from stuff and play with anybody you want. Really though, the more transformative stuff for gameplay is these passives they add on to the bottom of gear. So luckily those are there. Yeah, it just depends, right? I mean, if you're not interested in the loot side of things or the build or even the atmosphere, it's like, yeah, the raw just minute to minute gameplay, while very satisfying in sound and visuals and stuff, or at least for this build. I mean, I haven't played all the classes, they might all suck, who knows. Maybe this one just feels really good because you're a big bear slamming on the ground. But yeah, you're not generally doing a shitload of abilities flying around, dodging shit perfectly. If it didn't feel good to just blow shit up, you know, everything's blowing up around you and the enemies are exploding, the sounds are really loud. Yeah, the active gameplay is just... It's basic. It's not like Musou basic, but it's definitely more about the back end, which is nice. I don't know. I wouldn't say it gets old yet, no. I also think it kind of depends on what you're doing. The old games had pretty short campaigns. It was more about end game or grinding the loot perfectly. This one's quite a bit longer. Much more focused on kind of mixing end game, I guess, with like a full big world and campaign and stuff. A lot more places to go and stuff happening and all that. There's 3 more areas. I haven't even done that much in any of these zones. A lot more like account bound stuff, where if you do stuff on one character, it stays on the other character. And I think that kind of stuff's cute. A way to kind of combine the replayability of these games with like a larger kind of open world. And that way it's neat. But if point is, I think if you're just doing it all in one character, especially when you're on this difficulty, because you need to beat the game to unlock the next tier of world, it'd probably get old for sure. I think how I'm doing it's pretty good. I kind of just get my world tier through. I just get my level 3 for each zone. Mostly focus on story, hit up a few side quests, do a little exploring, and kind of just keep going. I think if you try to be very exhaustive with this, hit up every dungeon, hit up every statue, walk through every single fucking area, it'd probably get pretty old. But in terms of just a game I've only played for 3 or 4 days, I mean, it's been fine so far. I appreciate the question. Yeah, the only thing is like these kinds of games are made to kind of make or break in the end game a lot of the time for people. You know, there's a very large portion of the community. I mean, most people probably where end game's everything. So I'll have to see on that front how end game feels. I've heard mixed things from it, and since this is a live service game, the end game's a pretty big deal. Live service, I guess if you don't know, it just means a game they're going to continuously update seasons and microtransactions and new content. Usually those are free. Unless they're in like an MMO, but yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if this is just like a good campaign playthrough or if it feels a little lacking just to try to justify its live service nature or the end game. And if there's enough up there. I think in terms of atmosphere and I guess story and all that, it's a step up over D3. I think D3 had a bit more crazy active combat, but it didn't feel quite as good because the polish and visuals in this are much better. We'll see though. I'm probably not like the best person to ask about like a really detailed D3 or Diablo critique. I mean, I can come at it from like, you know, somebody who's just going to play the campaign's perspective and got things to say on endgame, but I'm not the kind to spend like 10,000 hours on fucking ARPG. I don't even know if I'll hit max level in this. I've heard it's exponentially longer to get to from 50 to 1,000 or 100 than it is to 1 to 50. Somebody made a chart and it was like 1 to 50 is like this, and then 50 to 100 is like this much requirement. It's like it's not even like close. So takes a long ass time. Yeah, I appreciate you always asking stuff. It's always fun to pick up. But yeah, I think they've struck a nice nice balance here. I mean, obviously stuff like the microtransactions I'm not a fan of. Shop refreshes, you know, don't miss it. You know, I mean, they're expensive, $25, $28 skins, stuff like that. But There's some clever innovations or, you know, really cohesive kind of things going on here with, like I said, the bind on account type of stuff and all that, and how they work that into open world. Just, the important stuff is, yeah, endgame and how this campaign ends up feeling in the long run and stuff. I like the visuals and I think there's good variety. I would say the high contrast nature of like Diablo 2, much darker areas, music much more in your ears. I like that probably a little better, but it's pretty close. Definitely better than the Looney Tunes shit that D3 had. I really like the general gameplay feel and how it pans out potion system, etc. I don't think it's that severe. I think 99 to 100 takes as long as 1 to 99 in PoE or something. Jeez. Yeah, I've liked the general gameplay so far for sure. I like that it's like on bosses and stuff, I don't just erase them, and I do need to move around a little bit. But that's nice. It's not like super active, it's not like you're playing some wild fucking MOBA or something like that. Maybe other games are like that, I don't know how Grim Dawn is. That would be fine with me too. But there is enough movement there for sure. It's definitely more the feel. Like I said, I think sound design and visuals are really nice. Maybe non-Werebear classes don't feel good, I don't know. I did a couple werewolf skills and I was like, eh. Like just doing that. It sounds good, it looks good. Slower end but keybind heavy? Okay. Because I've seen a picture of Grim Dawn and it had like a full fucking like 1 to 10 keyboard thing and I was like, what the? Which is neat. This one locks you in with like 6 skills, but it seems to be more to help you kind of tightly have to pick and choose your builds more. Like I said, I think sound design and visuals and stuff really do a lot for the feel of the combat. Just the explosion noises, the blood noises, enemies exploding everywhere, you know, all the fucking walls are breaking and shit around you. It's good. Not that the gameplay itself is like weak or anything. It doesn't feel janky, it's smooth. And it feels great on controller. I've never played one of these on a controller, and I like it quite a bit. I don't think I'm losing any precision or anything. I mean, maybe certain builds you would, because you want to attack certain areas more precisely, but in terms of like a melee, just I walk up and I smack kind of class, it's been nice. Don't forget in 40 minutes, well, I'll probably switch over in about 20-30. We got the Capcom conference. Yeah, in terms of quest design and stuff, I guess that would be probably, I wouldn't call it a big issue, but it is a little lacking. They're pretty MMO-esque quests. The stories are pretty dry. Not quite 10 boar asses. I mean, they are. I have 10 boar tusks right now. I gotta get it. So, I mean, they frame them and kind of give them set dressing. I feel like it doesn't ruin the atmosphere. I feel like it helps the atmosphere just enough. Like they seem serious enough, but like it's generally, there's not a whole lot of writing, so there's not a whole lot they can really do with the story. And since there's not a whole lot of set pieces or unique content behind a lot of these quests, some of them do, but since most of them don't, they don't really stand out. They're not like horrid MMO quests, but I feel like for a $70 game, either something where I was doing more unique stuff, or, you know, something with a bit more of like kind of a unique, non-tropey kind of approach to the story of the quest or something would be nice. There's a very certain thing concerning a legendary power you don't have that's pretty non-functional controller. Oh, really? Yeah, that's my thing. Is like if I have the ability to like click on a guy, like one guy, and like teleport to him or something, right? Like where like I can press like a nuke and put, you know, like then it's, yeah, I can't really do that. We'll see what it all is, but so far it's been good. I much prefer using a stick to move over a mouse. I feel like it's a bit more instant. The feed, it's more responsive on that front. I mean, I'm not saying in general. Like, I mean, I prefer to play all my shooters and stuff on mouse and keyboard, RTS, shit like that. Well, MMOs, all that kind of crap. But in a game like this, not having to like move the cursor and all that's kind of nice. If I'm more melee focused, obviously. I don't know how shooter classes work. I mean, maybe the right stick just aims. That would be fine. Wouldn't be as precise, but it'd be fine. Especially if they had like a line. Well, yeah, so far it's been cool. I also think, like, well, on one hand it's kind of fucked, but generally they explain mechanics, and like, I mean, maybe it's just because I've played a few of these, obviously. I've played enough of these, I guess, know the general gist, but maybe it comes a little easier. But I do think they do a decent enough job of like explaining the wider mechanics. There's a lot of nice tooltips that kind of just tell you exactly what something is, what they do. Mostly on the mechanical side of things. I think there's a few little things that aren't as intuitive when you want to get into the min-maxing. How like resistance works, where it's like a very certain amount of its armor and then some of its base resistances. Unless you really dig into these, you're not going to really get that, but resistances and stuff are kind of something that's going to be on all of your gear. So them not quite being what they seem is not very intuitive. Like this says 14%, but it's really like, is it 7%? Or is it 14 up to 50%? There's some weird shit in there. And there's a lot of systems, right? Whether that creates interesting depth and build variety, or it's just fucking like just bloat. I don't know. I think overall it's alright. I mean, having lucky chance, having crit, I think those things are fine. Vulnerability, healthiness, like, I mean, it gears the direction of some builds and shit. Like, I wouldn't care about topping myself off with heals or maybe even doing barriers if I didn't have the healthy thing, but yeah, stuff like resistances, it's I mean, if anybody's not ever like played a Diablo game, yeah, I mean, if you're looking for like some like crazy action game, that's just not usually how these are. But the good ones, even if they're not mechanically intensive, will never feel like a Muso. They've got some kind of focus where they need it, either it's on the back end or approach to managing resources and shit. It's never just completely mindless, or it shouldn't be. I don't know, maybe if you're playing Barbarian or something.
So I locked the gates to
It really depends on the fucking class.
It was only a matter of time before Norris would discover what I'd done and come demanding the key.
Is Barbarian still just fucking spin to win in this? I watched my friend play a little bit, and it seemed like that was the popular thing. I remember Wilson. It was popular for a little bit, huh? Did that ever... Didn't it have a bunch of issues on launch? I feel like it kind of just disappeared after that. I can't remember if it was balance issues or if it was technical issues. Oh, Last Epoch. I don't know much about that either. Yeah, I need to play Grim Dawn in terms of ARPGs. That's the one that seems to be on everybody's lips.
You stand in the way of the Savior. The holy blood in your veins should be boiling.
There's a lot of this kind of storytelling.
Nothing you do will change the future I saw.
I create my own destiny. And this prophecy of yours is just a small part of it. It is wider, beyond comprehension of ungrateful spawns like yourself. All you must understand is once I am victorious in hell, the high heavens will welcome me home, where I belong.
I wish it would be true, Father.
Yeah, Act 1's kind of a lot shittier than Act 2, huh? The story, characters aren't as interesting. Not that they were godly in that. The atmosphere's not quite as good. A lot more dry, kind of like flashback focused. You know, orange or green spirits talking about bullshit.
This place. I'm being followed.
Why is it going to like 1 FPS?
Outsider! Beyond this chamber, there's nothing but death and mourning. How fitting it shall be your grave!
That's it. Who's this guy? supposed to be that one dude, but all of a sudden he's in this big suit now. The Relic. I already forgot his name. It was like Vigo, I think. Waiting for the big surprise. Wow, it was Vigo all along.
Vigo, who did this?
I have done all that was asked. The pain is gone now. This was a just punishment. A stronger man would have refused Venard's bribe. Nerel. Nerel, is she safe?
Yes, she's safe.
Yeah, it does with the skulls and shit. I guess that it's an Iron Maiden as well is pretty hardcore.
I came here to help. Will you give this to her for me?
That was a pre-show.
I have taken it. It's so dark. I have repented. Do you think I was too late?
What is it on right now? YouTube?
No, not too late. The light has come to carry you home. Do you not see it, friend?
Do you have a link?
Yes. Yes. I see it now. They have come.
Can't believe I'm barely paying attention to Vigo's hardcore death here.
You didn't need that armor to prove your worth, friend.
Oh, okay. They got their creators right now. We want to watch? No, you don't need us to apologize. And I just, it's more the story itself. If I didn't want to be distracted, I wouldn't have even said anything until it was done. No, it's more the story. It's like, I just don't really care. When hit while not healthy, magic bubbles summon around you. Stay in the bubble, players are immune. Can only clear once every 90 seconds. I mean, it's high item power, but the rest is kind of shit. God damn. You'll see some of those motherfuckers with jaws where they're just like perfectly square, but it's like beyond that, dude. Wide angles, dude. Obtuse angles. Yeah, serious Giga Chad shit. Yeah, IRL Giga Chad. Additional 15% damage for each active companion. Oh damn, critical strike chances increased by 20% against enemies strangled by poison. Maybe I should do that instead. Maybe the 3 extra seconds isn't really worth it anymore. Over crit jam? See what I think. Damn, 33% overpower. Execute non-elites. I don't care about overtime damage. 37% overpower. On top of that. Jeez. Two-handed mace. I want that attack speed though. I guess I could take it off and put it on something. I don't want to do fucking two-handed weapons anymore though. But I don't know, man, this shit's fucking big. This is a lot of damage. If I equip it, it's just 889 just straight out. I mean, I could get the attack speed and put it on something else, probably. Where do I even get this thing? This must have some crazy shit, right? Pulverize is an earth skill. I feel like there's some kind of crazy synergy there. Just even having stuff like your earth skills that go up by 2 levels. Like, damage from earth skill slows enemies. I imagine those all work. Buried holes in the dry stuff. When you're struck as a werebear, you have a 20% chance to gain 1 spirit. I think I've done this. No, these just can be put on any piece of gear. You just gotta have the mats for it. Well, not any piece of gear. Some of these are like weapons only. It's essentially just what the legendaries have as a perk. You could just put them on stuff. Or you could take them off of legendaries and then put them on other shit. I don't know if you could do it twice. Aspect of retaliation. There's also, I think, uniques, which aren't these. There's something else. Oh yeah, they unlock account wide, I'm pretty sure. Pretty good, man.
Give me the key to hell. I will not ask again.
You don't need to. I saw a vision of the key lifted from my corpse, under the watchful eyes of the great serpent in my sanctum. If you are chosen as you say, it will come to pass.
Okay.
It's too quiet. Where is she?
One's pretty good, Druid one. Earth skill damage though, I don't care as much about. Obviously I need pulverize. I'm not playing this shit though, pulverize. Let's put that on something else. I mean I could store these and like probably use them later. I don't know if there's like better ranks of each one of them.
Is that him? Is that Rathma?
Or flash.
I don't know if you would have chosen to stand beside me in this new world, Rathma. But I would have saved your place, just the same. And now, all that you might have been has been stolen from me. Stolen. This key unlocks more than the doors of hell.
It unlocks our path to the future. A future made possible because of the price you paid. Your sacrifice will not have been in vain.
Okay. Hey, level up. Alright. That's cool, man. Only problem with tramples, it doesn't really work on bosses. Can I like warp out of here, brother? I really want to walk out. I have no idea. We'll just go. Time do we got? Got about 13 minutes. Somebody's just drawing someone right now. Oh no, wait, they're talking. Maybe we should be watching the pre-show. I mean, it's just them watching Street Fighter 6. Probably just highlights from Head Stomper or Smash or whatever the fuck it was. Oh, okay. Not too worried about it then. We'll just swap over right when it's time. I'm gonna put some loot away while I'm thinking about it. Yeah. Need to find some other high-ranking one-handers. The only problem with going for one-handers and shit is you gotta get the totem and the fucking one-hander.
I carry the best shards of the heavens.
I can take the attack speed off. Oh no, wait, I can only imprint it.
Father bless.
15% more for an active companion. No, we'll just put these away and make decisions on them later. Where's 15%? But there's probably a lot more competitive options there. If I had like wolves or something, maybe like 30%. Or you just make a decision on it later. That's kind of my thing, is like, yeah, I'm like, what do I do with this? It's like, because you can only take an aspect off something once and then put it on, right? You can't just keep taking it off and then putting it back on, can you? My thing is like, well, I might need these at some point, right? Like maybe my build will want to use some of this shit. And it's like, it could have value later. Are these always these good? Or is there like different ranks of each of these imprints? It's like I'm most likely what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna turn all these into aspect, right? Like, why wouldn't I? Like this one's 12%, see, and then this one's like the same thing but 15%. Like I guess they can be better or worse. But maybe it depends on what you put them on. But yeah, I end up just kind of putting them away. Well, they are permanent unlocks as well. But then they cost a different resource to put on. If you take them off this way, they just cost gold to put on. But there's also, I think, ranks of how good they are. I don't know how hard it is to get the resource to put them on. I don't know. I just keep building up legendaries. As long as it's not something I think I like need right now. Like I just kind of like leave them in here. Make a decision later. I mean, I probably could have like a thing full of aspects. I have one here. Attacking enemies with a basic skill increases damage of your next core skill cast. I mean, it gives value to legendaries even if you don't need them, I guess, because you could just start piling up like aspect, but yeah, it does end up being a little. Like you could do this, right? You use an aspect, and I could put it on something, and then I could turn this into like a legendary or some shit.
I can take common, turn it special.
But you can also do it this way if you unlock them. But then you need baleful fragments, which I don't even know how you get these. Maybe they're easy to get later. At this point in the game, you just don't have them. Did it say how you get them? Oh, salvaging legendaries. Yeah. I should probably do that for legendaries I don't really care about. Which is most of them here. And I don't use Blood Howl. I don't use Tornado. I don't use Wind Shear. I might use the Bubble. Maybe the distant enemy. Because I mean, it's almost 60% extra stun damage. Core skills. Gain. I already have one of those, but Let me unsocket and resocket something while I'm thinking about it. And then we'll swap over.
May the light keep you.
Yeah, might as well ditch some of that shit then. I mean, I'm gonna want to imprint on really well static gear at some point.
Came apart nicely.
I get shit from those.
You can take what's left.
I guess it's just a chance. Maybe it's salvaging legendaries of your level, or higher level legendaries. You get a better chance of it.
I'll take it.
Safe journey then.
Father bless. What do you need?
Anyways, let's make the swap here.
Safe.
Oh wait, I need to restart the stream. Let me get the title set up first, so the restart will be short. I know they're just showing trailers for their own games.